All right, boys and girls, this is your last math lesson for the week. It is lesson 12.5. We're going to be problem solving and learning how to make new two-dimensional shapes. So our question is, how can acting it out help you make new shapes from combined shapes?
Cora wants to combine shapes to make a rectangle. She wants her rectangle to have two sides that are longer than the other two sides. She has this shape. How can Cora make a rectangle? Let's think about the information we were given. We can use a graphic organizer to solve this problem. What do we need to find? We need to find how Cora can make a rectangle. What information from the problem do we need to use to tell how Cora can make a rectangle? We know that Cora uses this shape to make a rectangle. This is the information we need to use to solve the problem. Let's describe the shape that Cora uses. This shape has three straight sides. It is a triangle. A rectangle has four straight sides. Remember that Cora wants two of the sides to be longer than the other two sides. Now let's show how to solve the problem. First, let's use shapes. We can combine shapes to make a new shape. Start with one triangle. Then add a second triangle. What new shape do we make when these two triangles are combined? A square. We can tell it is a square because all four sides are the same length. This isn't the shape Cora wants to make. Cora wants her shape to have two sides that are longer than the other two sides. How many triangles did we use to make the square? 1, 2. We used two triangles to make one square. Now let's use the new shape to try to make Cora's rectangle. First, let's use one square. Then, let's add a second square. When we combine the two squares, what shape do we make? A rectangle. How many triangles does Cora use to make a rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Cora uses four triangles to make a rectangle. First, she combined two triangles to make a square. Then, she combined two squares to make a rectangle. The rectangle has two sides that are longer than the other two sides. Use this shape to make a circle. In the first step, combine two shapes to make a new shape. When you combine this shape and this shape, what shape can you make? That's right. Together they make this shape. For the second step, use your new shape. When you combine this shape and this shape, what shape can you make? Excellent! When you combine these two shapes, you make a circle. So two shapes combine to make a new shape. Then two of the new shapes combine to make a circle. Now let's practice. Now try.
All right, boys and girls, on this, we are going to select the shape that shows how a square can be made using only rectangles. So you're going to look at A, B, and C. Remember, we're using rectangles to make a square. C is correct. Good job. You have the two rectangles that end up making a square.
Awesome!
Next one, select the shape that shows how a rectangle can be made using squares. So it needs to be a rectangle, but the inside can only be squares. Is it A, B, or C? Very good. It is A. There's the two squares that make the rectangle.
Awesome!
Select the shape that shows how a square can be made using rectangles. Again, just like the first question we talked about. Inside can only be rectangles, so it would have to be C.
Well done!
One more. What shapes can you combine to make this triangle? Can we use circles to make a triangle? No, because circles are round and triangles have straight sides. Can we use hexagons to make a triangle? No. Can we make triangles to make a triangle? Yes.
You did it!
Very good job.
Your homework on your own with the personal math trainer.
Okay, and now we're going to do our workbook pages together. We're going to start with page 695. Okay. We are going to walk through steps of how Cora is going to make a circle. Cora wants to combine shapes to make a circle. She has the pie piece. How can she make a circle? So the first thing we need to find out is how can Cora make a what? A circle. What information do we need to use? We know that she has a pie shape. Okay, so we need to get the pie shape to end up looking like a circle. So there's going to be two steps that we do for that. The first one is we're going to use two pie pieces and we're going to connect them together and we're going to end up making a semicircle or a half circle. Okay, so we have our half circle because it's two of the pie pieces together. Step 2, we now have two of these pie pieces. So I'm going to take one, not pie pieces, but semicircles, half circles. I'm going to take one of mine and another one, and we're going to combine them together, and that is how we make our circle. My circle is really bad. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so we took 4 pie pieces, combined them together to make one circle. All right, now on page 696, we're going to do 2 problems, 2 steps for each. And remember, we're trying to figure out what we need to find and what information do we have that we know we have to use, okay? We are going to use a square to make a larger square. So we're going to start with 2 squares, and it ends up making a rectangle. So now we're going to take our rectangle, and we're going to take a rectangle. I cannot keep my pen straight on this computer mouse pad. And another rectangle. So now I have 2 rectangles. 1, 2. And I'm going to combine them together. There's my 1, 2. And I have a larger square. Okay. Down here we have a triangle. And we want to end up making a rectangle. So we start with 2 triangles. Okay, and the way we're going to do is we're going to hook them together to where they look like that. There's my 2 triangles. So now I have what shape? A square. So now I want to make a rectangle out of 2 squares. So I'm going to take my square and my square and combine them. There's my 1 and 2 squares. So I started with 2 triangles, 1, 2. And ended up with 4 triangles to make a rectangle. Awesome job, boys and girls. All right, and the last workbook page is page 697. All right, we are going to use triangles to make it shows a rectangle, but it is actually should be a giant square. So I'm going to fix that. It's going to be a big square, not a rectangle. All right, so the first step is we take the odd-shaped triangle and another odd-shaped triangle, and we make a rectangle. There's my triangle and my triangle. So now I have a rectangle and another rectangle, and I'm going to make my big square because I have 2 rectangles, 1, 2. So we ended up with 2 of these, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 triangles make our big square. Okay? Awesome. All right, we have one last thing to do. We are going to do the mid-chapter checkpoint. I'm going to read the instructions, let you try to complete it on your own, and then I'm going to go over the answers. And remember, all three of these workbook pages and the, is it 3 workbook pages? All 3 of the workbook pages and the mid-chapter checkpoint will have blank pages on Seesaw that you can access, complete, and submit to me. All right, so here is our mid-chapter checkpoint. There's only 4 problems, and it's a review of everything we've learned so far in chapter 12. We're going to, on numbers 1 and 2, write the number and sides of vertices. Write the number of sides and vertices or corners. This is a trapezoid. How many sides is it? And how many vertices or corners? Number 2, a hexagon. How many sides and how many vertices or corners? Okay, so let's go ahead and, after you've thought that out, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides and how many corners? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices or corners. Okay, hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. How many vertices or corners? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. On number 3, we are going to take 2 of these here to make this shape. If I would cut a line right there, it shows me that I have this shape and which other shape? Excellent. The rectangle, the pie piece, and the rectangle. The rectangle is sideways, and there's the pie piece. Number 4, which new shape can you make? Again, which new shape can you make? We're going to end up with a shape, one of these, using these. We have step 1, combine a square and a pie piece to make it look like that. So we're going to come up and kind of curve. Okay, kind of, it's a little curvy, but all right, so I now have a shape that looks like this. Now I'm going to use 2 of those, so I'm going to go ahead and combine and go like this. Okay. Which of these looks similar to that? Mine's not a very good drawing because I'm using my mouse pad. So it's going to be this and this. And then if we color it in, it looks a little better. It is this one. Very good. All right, boys and girls. So go back and check again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where my stuff went to. 4 sides, 4 vertices, 6 sides, 6 vertices. And if we cut this right here, we have this shape and this shape. So check your work and complete the blank mid-chapter checkpoint and submit it on Seesaw. All right, that's it for this week. Hopefully, you will be done. I don't have anything else for you math related until after spring break. So enjoy your spring break the week of April 6th through the 10th, and I will hopefully see you guys after that.